All right, so let's talk about the active listings. So active listings are synonymous on the MLS with being the most unreliable opportunities that you could potentially pursue. So you might ask, why are we looking at properties that are active and they're on the market and they likely have, 10 investment offers on the first day that it was listed, cash offers, they're ready to go. And you might see those as opportunities that are kind of not worth your time. But when you consider that you're trying to build relationships as your main prerogative, working on a listing with a real estate agent that has a fixer that is active on the market, you're really tying into what is most important to them. And so consider that if you were a real estate agent and I contacted you about your property that is active right now and you're trying to close the deal, and I am an investor trying to build a relationship with you, I'm probably going to want to talk with you about the most important thing on your plate right now, which is that deal, right? And so when I talk with you about that deal and explain to you who I am, who my company is, and this can all be done through email or on the phone, and we always will have templates for these types of dynamics, but just consider that that is their experience of you and sharing who you are to them, and them understanding that you're a serious buyer, you're a figure of authority, and you know what you're doing, right? You're sharp as a tack, and in how you communicate that is you're enthusiastic as hell. And that's how they will experience you. Now, I often go into these dynamics and obviously, communicating with a lot of real estate agents about their active listings that I have no intention in buying, and realizing that, those initial conversations are really only teeing up for the opportunity for them to send me a deal in the future. Like, I'm actually, ready to say, hey, this opportunity doesn't seem like it's a good fit. Do you have anything else that you're working on? And so it's kind of a segue from that initial, property and that initial interaction. And, nine times out of 10, I really have no interest in that actual property unless they say something that's indicative of them, giving me an actual price that's, fair below what they're listed at, or, giving some insights on where they're really at and what's possible to make a deal. And that's pretty apparent, when you first start to have that conversation. But, the point here is that, these active opportunities are really just the grounding into that relationship that you want to say, hey, this is what's important to you right now, and I'm someone that you could potentially do business with, and even if it's not on this exact deal, on the next one in the future, like, we could be a really good fit. And I'm going to use this opportunity and talking with you about your property that you have right now to share that with you and to give you that, background of who I am and understand like what's possible, and also to, develop the initial relationship, understanding what their goals are, right? Really understanding how you can be mutually beneficial to each other in the future. And so that's really one of the main reasons why we develop these active listing relationships. And that's really the most exciting part for a real estate agent when they have a house on the market and they want to get active offers and everything's moving forward. Also realizing that agents are probably inundated and overwhelmed with responses and other investors, so you're kind of dealing with the rest of that. But that's also why we have pending and sold campaigns, and this is a long-term game. So I'm just sharing with you the initial touch point that we could communicate with an agent on, and why we might even pursue some of these opportunities. And I can't tell you how many opportunities have come from these initial touch points. Like, hey, this one has so many offers in, no big deal, but like, I already have another property coming up and let's talk about that one tomorrow, or whatever the situation might be. And so that's really the basis of why we're communicating with these active opportunities. And so just realize that there's a ton of value here, and remember, the more amount of conversations that you can have lead to more opportunities coming into your inbox. All right, so let's go ahead and have those conversations, and I'll see you in the next video.